cheers. We have White Russians with us today because in today's video we are going to be talking about all of the Coen Brothers movies. So welcome to like possibly the ultimate book versus movie. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina. This is Ollie. He has appeared in a couple of my videos before, but if you are new, here he is. I make videos on this channel, bookish videos, at least twice a week, and then book to movie or movie reviews here at the weekend. All of my social links are in the description box below, including my blog and my Goodreads, so you can keep up with my reading in between times. But one of my favourite kinds of videos to make is a book versus movie video, and yeah, this could possibly be the ultimate book versus movie because we bought this book because of a movie. So this book is all about the Coen Brothers films, and it's really, really heavy to hold up. And one of the really nice things about this book is that it has this rug in, which is covering you up. But the rug also has like a whole load of designs related to other Coen Brothers movies. I'm going to put the book down now. But the rug, of course, is made famous in The Big Lebowski.
Yes.
Which is why we have the White Russians. We're very happy with our White Russians. Yeah. It's Friday night, why not? So we bought this book because Ollie's favourite movie is
No Country for Old Men.
I had never seen it. And you're also a big fan of The Big Lebowski, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I was really lucky to be able to see that for the first time on the big screen because we went to one of the TCM classic movie. They want our White Russians, that's what it is. Classic movie evenings. And so that kind of piqued my interest.
And it was really cool.
It was really cool seeing it on the big screen, definitely. But yeah, that kind of piqued my interest. So I bought the book for Ollie as a birthday or Christmas present, can't remember which. Probably birthday.
It was birthday.
Because of the No Country for Old Men and Big Lebowski link, and then we decided, a bit like our watching of the top 100 IMDb movies, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave it linked up above. We did that.
Yeah. And
then we wanted another list of films to watch because we like a list and we like making a spreadsheet of the films that we're watching.
It's quite nice to work towards something.
Yeah. Definitely. So we kind of started working our way through the list of movies in the contents of the book, which I'm not going to hold up, it's very heavy. But there was also a couple of them which we had already seen. So you'd already seen No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
Together, we'd already seen Big Lebowski and Fargo.
Yeah.
And I had already seen...
I always forget about Fargo.
Yeah.
Even though it's great.
Yeah, we'll get onto that. Yeah. I had already seen The Lady Killers and Intolerable Cruelty without knowing that they were Coen Brothers films. So I just saw them... I went to see Intolerable Cruelty for Catherine Zeta-Jones and George Clooney, and I went to see The Lady Killers for Tom Hanks.
Well, that's one thing, is that they're quite varied.
Yes.
Like, they've certainly got their own style, but it's not like they make the same film over and over again.
Yes, and watching them all kind of back to back, those being the films that we were watching, you really do see that difference in style.
Yeah.
Like, No Country for Old Men is in no way the same as Big Lebowski.
But you can kind of point at them both being Coen Brothers type films.
I think one theme that kind of goes across them all is that there's some very dark aspects to them. So obviously, like Fargo, you have, a murder right at the beginning, but then there's some really, really hilarious moments. And then The Lady Killers, you've got these people who are like posing as musicians and they all seem really lovely, but they're trying to do this like casino heist type of thing. And even in Intolerable Cruelty, which apparently I can't say after a couple of sips of White Russian.
What's up with that?
You've got Catherine Zeta-Jones being not a nice person at all.
Yeah, they certainly don't rely on wrapping up the end of a film into a nice happy kind of bow where everyone goes home and that's it.
Well, and I mean that they said that Fargo was based on a true story. Totally bought that. I've seen it like 3 times now.
Yeah.
Totally bought it. Yeah, it's not. It's not. Hate to burst your bubble. It's not.
Yeah, they put that bit in at the beginning to make you more immersed in it and believe what was happening, which you really do.
Yeah.
It's clever.
So you list No Country for Old Men as your favourite film.
Yeah.
And so going into this, there was a lot of pressure on me to watch that.
There was no pressure to watch it. There was just a lot of pressure to like it.
100%. There was a lot of pressure on me just going into that. And so we left that one till last.
Yeah.
And we watched it on Blu-ray.
And it's quite long.
Yeah.
As well, so.
I mean, others in here are quite long too, apart from the 2 short films, which were interesting.
Yeah.
We borrowed one from the library and found one on YouTube. Neither of them were really anything to speak of.
No, but they were part of larger collections of short films, so had we watched the full collection, there would have been a little more context. Like the Paris Chatem one is, a collection of the different
and
provinces.
Their offering was definitely funny, but also dark at the same time.
Yeah, they're different, and they're very kind of short film style.
But yeah, No Country for Old Men, I definitely can see why you liked it. It has a lot of things that you like in a film, which we talked about in that 100 IMDb movies. You like a quiet film. This film has no soundtrack. You like a film that's kind of...
It's a modern Western.
Yeah, it is. And I did enjoy it. I definitely was like taken along with the story. It's got a very clear-cut story, and I think you aren't like distracted by a lot of dialogue or a lot of music, but it's very violent. Yeah,
it's very violent. I would say it's probably the most cinematic.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of the others are very kind of well shot and that kind of thing, but you can tell that film had a higher budget.
Yes.
For that kind of...
I think the last
filming.
couple of films that we watched, you can definitely tell that they had the higher budgets. True Grit, of course, is also a Western, and it got nominated for all the Oscars, basically. It was nominated for so much, but it's very big budget, and it tells, and I think they used it well. It was cinematically very pleasing, and I like the performances. Also quite violent, but I really, really love the fact that we had this kind of young girl as the main character. It was very like female forward, even though I was at a time when it wasn't female forward, and you've got like Jeff Bridges in there, but she manages to kind of steal the show away from him, which is quite cool. But yeah, No Country for Old Men, I can see why you like it. It's, never going to be listed as my favourite film, but I did enjoy it, and I enjoyed the experience of it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we left it until last, because there was a lot of pressure watching it. So we went through like the early ones: Blood Simple, Raising Arizona, Miller's Crossing, Barton Fink, Hudsucker Proxy. So I'd heard of Raising Arizona, but that was the only one I'd heard of. And obviously that one's got Nicolas Cage in, and also Frances McDormand, of course.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why I'd heard of those ones.
Yeah, I think we felt like Blood Simple and Raising Arizona were not as strong as some of the others. Yeah.
Barton Fink, John Goodman just kind of shone in that one, I would say. But aside from that, I wasn't terribly enamoured with it.
I quite like Barton Fink.
Yeah. It's interesting that they use the same studios, because it's based around a film writer. That's that one, right?
Yep.
And they use the same studios in that one as they do in Hail Caesar, which I thought was quite cool. I like that link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of little kind of links like that between the films.
But then in terms of those like early ones, like Barton Fink probably sticks in my mind more than the others.
Yeah.
But definitely. I thought that Hudsucker Proxy was really funny. It really appealed to my sense of humour, and it was probably like out of those early ones, it was definitely my favourite out of those first ones. But it's definitely one of the lighter ones, even though it does have like quite a lot of suicide in it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely meant to be a comedy.
Yeah, and it had quite a lot of sort of Citizen Kane, I feel like.
Yeah, it had a feeling of Citizen Kane, which I liked and you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, those early ones were definitely less remarkable. Hudsucker Proxy was funny, and Barton Fink was like, oh, this is John Goodman doing his thing. Like, that's really cool.
And John Tutillo, or I forget his name. It's probably in the book.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. He was really good.
Yeah. And then the next lot are Fargo, Big Lebowski, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, The Man Who Wasn't There, and Intolerable. I can't say it. The one with Catherine Zeta-Jones. The one that I had on DVD. Obviously, we've said Big Lebowski and Fargo were ones that we'd already seen. Yeah.
But I feel like that grouping of films is they're really strong.
They are really strong.
I mean, starting with Fargo is it's great.
Yeah. And it's really rewatchable.
Yeah.
Like, even though it deals with some dark subject matter, it's quite long. And again, I can see why it links you in, because it's not got a whole lot of dialogue and it's not very fast paced.
Yeah.
But it's really rewatchable.
It's very easy to follow, yet it's not boring.
Yeah.
It doesn't get dull. It's just an interesting film.
And then Big Lebowski. It's got White Russians and bowling, and there's a spin-off from it which is not endorsed by the Coen Brothers, but we are going to watch that next, and that is Jesus Rolls. So let us know in the comments if you would like to hear a review of that one, because it's a spin-off from it but not Coen Brothers endorsed.
I think they gave their blessing, but that's
they were like, you can have the character, that's fine.
Yeah.
We don't want anything more to do with it. Yeah. And then Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was a surprising one.
Yeah.
Because it was really good. It was really musical though, which you normally don't like. I mean, you like a decent soundtrack.
Yeah, I'm not such a fan of musicals.
Yeah, it was quite musical and quite silly in parts as well, which was quite refreshing.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect from it, but it was good.
Mm-hmm. The Man Who Wasn't There, I can't remember anything about it. Says a lot.
I was trying to think of the plot.
Okay, so we can't remember The Man Who Wasn't There, so that tells you everything you need to know.
The book.
I know, but we shouldn't have to look at the book to remember the film. Like, I feel like we should remember the film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That one's Steve Buscemi, right? Probably. We'll find out. We'll look. And then Intolerable Cruelty, I've rewatched.
Steve Buscemi's probably in it.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Yeah, he's kind of like nosing around the edges of all of them.
Yeah.
Intolerable Cruelty, I had watched before and rewatched before. I've said it twice now, and rewatched before as well. So I knew that I liked it, but that's because it's basically a rom-com with dark elements to it, and I love a rom-com.
Yeah.
So what did you make of it? Was it what you were expecting?
I didn't know what to expect. I did recognise the cover of the film, but I'd not seen it. But I did think it was quite good. It was quite clever in its writing, and yeah, you say it's like a dark rom-com. I think that's fair. It's not too rom-com-y for me, if that's a word.
Oh, The Man Who Wasn't There was the Billy Bob Thornton one.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's a barber, which...
that was probably the most different.
It's
out
in
of
black
all
and
their
white.
Films. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. It was quite good, but yeah, it was quite different. It's very film noir.
Does not have Steve Buscemi in it. It's very film noir. I think that's when you definitely have to be in the right mood to watch. I think. Yeah. Then the next grouping is Lady Killers, No Country for Old Men, the world cinema stuff we've covered, Burn After Reading, and A Serious Man. We've talked about No Country for Old Men. We know that
it's good.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Yeah, Lady Killers I'd seen before. It reminds me a lot of like Ocean's 12.
Yeah,
but
it was very oceans.
yeah, I like the Louisiana setting. Yeah, like that's cool.
Yeah, that's not an area where you have too many films placed.
No, unless they are starring Tom Hanks. He's had a few set down there, and I think knowing that is a Tom Hanks film, you kind of get the feeling of like what it's gonna feel like, how it's gonna come off on the screen.
It's a bit lighter.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the fact that I'd seen it before and not realised it was Coen Brothers says an awful lot. Yeah, Burn After Reading, I had seen before, but I'd forgotten that I'd seen before. I actually checked with my dad, and he told me that we'd watched it together. But on rewatch, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was quite good. It's not my favourite.
No.
But I thought it was pretty decent.
I think because Frances McDormand is, again, kind of like coming up as a lead in it. I like ones where she leads.
She's very good.
She is, and we need to still get you to watch Three
Billboards.
Yeah, it's very hard to say
From
words.
Ebbing, Missouri.
Outside Ebbing, Missouri, because I loved that one. If you remember from my like Oscars picks a couple of years ago, but yeah, she's fab in lead, and I like this. And Brad Pitt's really funny in this one. Yeah, and then A Serious Man I didn't like. I really like. If we weren't kind of watching it for watching down the list, I probably would have turned it off.
I can't remember it either.
Yeah,
actually.
It's the one that starts off in Israel, and it's subtitled. And then it's really quite.
I remember that part, but I don't remember it anymore. So.
And I think as we're talking about it like this, if we don't remember a film, then that says an awful lot about it.
I probably would give these ones that I don't remember another watch at some point. But yeah, it does say something, but I don't recall what it is.
Yeah. And then we've got True Grit, Inside Llewellyn Davis, Hail Caesar, and then, even though it's not in the book, the Netflix original that was nominated, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot talk.
Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, which is interesting because to me it kind of blends those feelings of like True Grit, a little bit of Oh Brother Where Art Thou because it's got the singing, and then it blends in, I think, a bit like what they were trying to do with the like World Cinema Parish to Tame contributions.
Yeah, was it 4 short films?
Yeah, very musical.
Yeah. I wasn't such a fan of it, but I think that I was expecting something different going into it.
Yeah.
And so that's why. But if I watched it again, I might enjoy it a bit more because I kind of know what to expect.
Yeah. And then we've talked about True Grit already. I think for somebody that doesn't like a Western, I like the story of it. I didn't like the more Western-y aspects of it, but it's got very, very good storytelling and then like a strong female lead, which I'm all about that. If you've been watching the channel a while, you'll know that when it comes to books or movies, love a strong female lead.
Yes.
Inside Llewellyn Davis, we need to talk about this one because I think that this was an eye-opener for both of us.
Yeah, what was your thoughts on it?
Well, we'd never heard of it. We didn't know it existed until we were like looking at the list in the book. Some of these other ones were in our like periphery somewhere, like, you know, Burn After Reading. Didn't realise I'd watched it, but I'd heard of it. Oh Brother Where Art Thou, we were aware of it, but Inside Llewellyn Davis, had no idea. And then it's like this massive Star Wars reunion. Oscar Isaac, Adam Driver, 2 of my favourite people.
Yeah.
And it's got a New York setting. It's got some music. It's quite quiet. It's quite slow. I would rewatch it again right now.
Yeah, it was a surprising one.
Yeah. For a film we'd never heard of, we really recommend Inside Llewellyn Davis.
Yeah.
You may not have heard of it either, therefore we recommend it.
Yeah.
And then Hail Caesar, which very conveniently came to Netflix in the middle of us doing this. When we put our list together, we put our spreadsheet together of where we could find these to watch, whether it was borrowing them from the library, which was difficult during a pandemic. much easier now because they're doing curbside pickup, borrowing on Prime, Hulu, Netflix. It came to Netflix, yay. I like the fact, like I say, it tied in the studio that they used in Barton Fink. Yeah. To me, it still wasn't that memorable.
Okay.
But I liked to kind of the fact that it was opening, like turning the cameras back on the movie industry. I always like films and shows that do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that's a bit of a theme of theirs as well.
Yeah. Obviously, like George Clooney's in it, Scarlett Johansson's in it. Had a load of people in it that kind of popped up, so it's very star-studded.
Yeah.
And again, has the bigger budget feeling of True Grit, No Country, like generally those ones. But aside from Inside Llewellyn Davis, it felt very art house. Yeah.
There's a lot of very kind of arty shots, which look great. Like I think all of the films are shot very well.
Yeah.
And they look very good. The writing is always superb.
Yeah.
Like you never come out really going, you don't feel like it's not being wrapped up well, or that you're kind of lost. But at the same time, not everything's kind of spoon-fed to you. Yeah. You just pick it up.
Which is how I like my books to be.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, the book was fun to follow along with as we were reading. We'll lift it up one last time because it breaks it down with, like, I don't know if you can see that, like percentages and what have you. We'll try and zoom in. And the percentages are quite like tongue-in-cheek. So like, if Steve Buscemi is on the periphery, we've got like 5% Steve Buscemi. This one has 5% fireball explosions and 6% trailer park chic. And it gives you some inside information. There's also some like pictures of filming and stuff like that. So it was fun to flick through the book as we were watching the films.
I think it's quite interesting that they use a lot of the same actors repeatedly.
Yeah.
Apart from Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How comes he just did one early on and then that's it?
I mean, he didn't marry either of them. That was his mistake.
Well, neither did Steve Buscemi, but
yeah, Steve Buscemi's just one of those people,
isn't he? He's a golden girl.
Yeah, I and John Goodman, George Clooney, Scarlett Johansson's in a couple of them. Yeah. Let's have more of Adam Driver in them.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that, like, as you say, you had like a few of the Star Wars people, and that you can see that in the later films you're having that same kind of reuse of the same actors.
Yeah,
they obviously like working with a particular style of actor, and once they find people that they get on well with,
definitely
work well with, they kind of stick to it, and it seems to work really well. And I think it's quite nice as well that you're watching a film and like John Goodman turns up again, you kind of feel like, he's your old mate. And he's back. It gives you kind of a little bit of comfort.
Yeah, I think, it's comforting.
And I think it helps you kind of sink into the film a bit, because it's not someone kind of alien to you. I
mean, you point out Nicolas Cage, but also William H. Macy. Like, he was very prominent, got nominated for stuff for Fargo.
He was very strong.
Can't remember if he won stuff for Fargo. And then, he doesn't pop up again. I mean, like, unfortunately, there's certain scandals around him just now. But
I didn't know.
He's married to Felicity Huffman, the whole college bribery thing.
Right.
Yeah. You can tell that somebody reads Heat magazine and somebody doesn't. But I would be interested to see if they did something else with Javier Bardem, because he is such a distinctive character in No Country, and that character is so different from every other film he's in. He's so sexy in every other film he's in because he just exudes that sexiness. And he's so unsexy in No Country. Like, we did try doing your hair like his, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was a bit weird. Didn't like it.
Not in the same weird. It's just weird. But yeah, like watching the some of the bonus features, like the behind the scenes for No Country for Old Men, was
that.
really interesting. Like him talking about him working with them. Yeah.
So, Mark Kermode made a video talking about his top 5 Coen Brothers films, and he was put them in order. I'm going to ask you for your top 3.
The top 3.
Yeah.
Well, number 1 would be No Country for Old Men.
Obviously.
Yeah, that good. I couldn't remember it.
I mean, you are nearly finished your White Russian now.
Yeah. It's 2 and 3 are going to be Fargo and Big Lebowski, but 4 would be Barton Fink.
Oh, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. I'd probably have to go Big Lebowski is number 2, Fargo is number 3, and then Barton Fink is number 4, because I did enjoy Barton Fink. I thought that the acting was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good script, and it was my kind of film.
Yeah.
What about your top 3?
So I think
No Country for Old Men, obviously.
I get like a veto on that one because like it's your favourite film. It's like somehow, you don't like my favourite film, so it's fine. It's not that I don't like it. I didn't say I didn't like it. I liked it. It's just not my number 1.
That was close.
I would say that Fargo. It's a bit, sounds very weird, but like if I think about rewatching it now, it's quite comforting. Like I like a rewatch of things that bring me that sense of comfort. I would really, really like to rewatch Inside Llewellyn Davis, and like talking about it here, it makes me feel like I really want to rewatch that.
Yeah, that Inside Llewellyn Davis was very good.
Yeah.
Like I would probably have that as number 5.
Okay. Wow, you gave a top 5 without having to be prompted.
I'm not going to go through the rest of them.
No, I was being kind and only asking for 3. Yeah. So I'd say Fargo, Inside Llewellyn Davis, and then it'd be a toss-up between Big Lebowski and Intolerable Cruelty. Okay. Because Intolerable Cruelty I saw at the cinema, and then I bought the DVD when it was released, and I've rewatched it a couple of times, and so again it's got that like comfort level thing for me. But then when we came to sit down and rewatch Big Lebowski for this watch, having seen it twice already, it had a kind of comfort feeling for me, so it's really difficult to pick those 2. Maybe Big Lebowski 3 and Intolerable Cruelty, said it right again, 4. There we go. But as Mark Kermode says, ask me again tomorrow, might go be a different answer. He likes to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you have it. Is this the ultimate book versus movie? Because it's a book that made us watch all the movies. Let us know in the comments if you've seen any of these films. What's your favourite? Are you going to watch any of these thanks to our thoughts? Did you know Inside Llewellyn Davis existed? It's on Amazon Prime if you're in the US. Can't comment on if it's on there in the UK. But yeah.
The book's really good.
Yeah.
Really,
highly recommend the book.
Like,
I'll link it below.
Good info in there.
Yeah, and it's really pretty.
Yeah, it's a coffee table book.
It is. It's like and it's very heavy too. So, got things you need to weigh down or doors you need to prop open. It'd be helpful for that too. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. As I say, talk to us in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Make sure you are subscribed because I have more movie reviews for you. If you want to see Jesus Rolls, let me know. It'll be coming up. Don't miss out on that. Yeah. If you want to see our review of Jesus Rolls.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to go away and watch that now. Make another White Russian. Go and do that. Okay. I will be back with another video soon. Hit that notification bell so that you know when that pops up. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.